The Somali fraud is getting worse the deeper people look into it. Today, I'll show you some things that will just make you furious. The American people are being robbed blind and then called racist for wanting accountability. Elon Musk shares with Trump exactly how to clean up the fraud and the crime, but it's going to take real courage to do this. Something Hillary Clinton has been doing behind the scenes in order to destroy America and Elon Musk. These Democrats want the crime, they want the illegals, as they are bleeding voters and support from true Americans. Lastly, will President Trump be forced to use the Insurrection Act? I'll go over all of this and much more. Thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos. All right, the mainstream media is giving almost 0 minutes of coverage on the Somali fraud rings. Big shocker, right? Systemic theft of billions of dollars stolen from American workers. Governor Tim Walz doesn't care. He doesn't want to stop this. In fact, he's actively tried to bury it and then apologize to the Somali community for white Americans being racist towards them. But it's not just white Americans. It's Americans that are furious that our hard-earned money is being stolen. And Tim Walz, the deeper you dig, the more you realize this guy is garbage. It's sad. I don't like saying that about people, but they're literally trying to make this a racial issue versus a theft issue. Now, in addition to stealing your money to feed fake children and helping fake families with fake autism, we're now finding out that they've been setting up fake daycares. Independent journalist Nick Shirley has been doing more to expose the fraud than the Attorney General or Tim Walz. Let me show you this first video. This is absolute craziness.
Children here in your child care?
Which child care means a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
Where the children are?
Yeah, where are the children? It says you have 102 children here, and you got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where are you? Which department? That is harassment.
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. Look at that. Shut us down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look at this daycare center right here. No children inside of this daycare center. But between those buildings, over $2.6 million.
All right. So Nick Shirley has been going to dozens and dozens of daycares in the state of Minnesota. And he's literally just knocking on the doors during business hours. And what he's realizing is that these groups who have been given millions and millions of dollars year after year after year, they have no children, or they have a fraction, like 10% of the children. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the videos, although this dude is putting out content like crazy. You should definitely go and follow him. But millions of dollars, $2.6 million, and they're looking in, and there's no children in the building. So fake children needing food, fake children with autism, now fake daycare centers. Watch this next one, because this one really agitated me.
They seem to be closed. No one's opening the doors.
You work here?
I was, yeah. What's happened?
Where are the kids?
Yeah.
It says it's licensed for 74 children. Right here, state of Minnesota. Where are the kids? They got paid $1.26 million in fiscal year 2025. It says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When?
Where are the kids? Right here. State of Minnesota website. You work here and you don't know?
I don't know. I was there before. I don't know what's going on.
Were there any kids when you worked here?
He's there. Kids there. What's
How
up?
many?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You worked here. Okay, well, then you're not of any help.
Can I put my son in a daycare here?
No, I don't know.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No? Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Who's your son, Joey?
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
No! He's a liar.
I'm the owner.
Do you put your kid here in this daycare?
No.
There is one child in there. Yeah,
So
I'd like
how
to know
could
if
you
this
do?
is a legit business.
Me, I'm scared of you too. How come I explain everything?
You're scared of me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of your curry.
Because of my color. You said
I
you're
have
scared of
to
me because of
pass
my
my
color. Does that make you a racist?
Yeah, no.
But
No,
you,
no.
you said you're scared of me because of my color.
I'm not saying you're racist.
You said you're scared of me because of my color. That makes you a racist. So right now
This is my
they're all
tax
getting
money.
mad because he's showing the
I
paperwork
don't
of
know
this
that.
business being registered as a business. 74 children,
I've
no
lived my whole
children.
life
We
here.
saw one child when the lady opened up the door.
Wow.
So
But
where
now
did
they're
this
all
money
getting
go?
mad.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent
ask
on?
the owner.
There aren't any kids.
Ask the owner and the kids.
Well, then why are you talking
That's
for the
not my
owner
proof.
if you're
That's
telling me
not
to
my
talk
proof.
to the owner?
I'm sorry. I'm not understand what you're talking about.
Do you have a child here?
No.
Does anybody?
No.
Where are the 74 kids? Did you lose them? Did you lose these kids? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to issue an Amber Alert for missing children? Are these children missing?
All right, so that particular group, $1.26 million of taxpayer money. There's no kids. There's no kids. So, like, why under Biden did 400,000 kids go missing? Under Tim Walz, we've got dozens and dozens of daycares run by Somalians with no kids in there or very limited kids. Now, under Biden, remember that the Republicans and the Democrats, they were desperately trying to up the earned child tax credit. Why? Because they said one of the biggest expenses on parents in America is childcare. So most childcare facilities, they have to run and make a profit. They're an actual business, but not in Minnesota. You can literally register as a senior care center, a home health care center, as a daycare center, and they will give you millions of dollars with zero oversight, zero accountability. Nobody's coming to check whether children are being trafficked or whether there are children at all. This is a total scam with stolen money. This is just really, really messed up. We've got to have some accountability on this. This is just absolutely crazy. Now, I believe the fraud in Democrat states and cities should be the next thing that President Trump focuses on. I'm telling you, you're going to hear it later. I've been saying, stop trying to use the National Guard in blue sanctuary cities. Instead, go after the money and send the National Guard into red states where you're wanted and where you were voted in. But go after the money. If there is no money, the illegals go home, the fraud can't persist, and they leave. I mean, $76 million we're finding out in fraud out in California, 18 billion in Minnesota. This is just what we know about. We are being robbed blind and then taxed to death by this government. All right, let me switch gears. I don't want to completely black pill you on this. There's still a lot of good that is going on, so I want to share. I want to share some of that with you. Let me pull this up and just share this information with you because this is really incredible stuff. So what they're finding out is that if you actually lock criminals up and hold them accountable, they stop committing crimes. Check this out from Kash Patel's FBI. FBI violent crime arrests double in 17 key cities compared to Biden. And the murder rate is dropping like crazy. They've had a 400% increase in arrests in Buffalo, 264 in Jackson, 175 in New York, 160 in Nashville, 150 in Detroit. If you lock people up, they stop committing crimes. Like Godoy, that is like, I don't even know why you have to say that stuff out loud, but I guess you do, right? And now we're learning that all of these people should be locked up. Like, why are these Somalians not being arrested? Why are they not being deported? If Kristi Noem says half of them used fake documents to get here, Why aren't we seeing the arrests? Well, they've got to pay, right? So here's an example of something that just makes me absolutely crazy. Look at this. So last month, a leftist Minnesota judge overturned a unanimous jury verdict on a Somalian fraudster who stole $7.2 million. The judge said, actually, I don't like this. I think some of this evidence, although it's evidence, is circumstantial. We're going to let him keep the money, and the case was dismissed. This dude got to steal $7 million from American taxpayers. And what was the answer? Oh, just let him go. Some of that evidence might have been circumstantial. Well, now Elon Musk is telling President Trump, you have to doge these cities and states, and you have to actually lock people up, and you have to go after the judges. You must go after the judges. Well, this is exactly what they did down in El Salvador. So President Bukele has given us the blueprint of what to do. So just some background. President Bukele was voted in El Salvador. When he came in, it had the highest murder rate in the world. In the world. What did he do? He did a secret operation where in one weekend, they arrested and locked up 50,000 gang members in these mega prisons. He then went after the government officials and said, you've been stealing from the people, you've been stealing, you've been cheating. He went after them. And then the last thing he did was he started locking up the rogue judges. So he said, listen, if you guys are letting criminals out and they kill people or they go on to steal or rape or traffic or deal drugs, that is on you. And so he went ahead and locked up these people. And this is what President Trump is going to have to do. I mean, how many times have I shared with you guys stories about needing to lock these criminals up and these judges? We just had one judge. She got hit with a felony, right? Why? Because she lied to ICE and distracted them while an illegal immigrant who had choked somebody and was illegally in our country snuck out the back door. We've got Irina down in North Carolina, killed by somebody let out over a dozen times. I've been sharing these stories. Let me know in the comments. Is it time to start holding these rogue judges accountable? The number one thing blocking President Trump isn't the GOP in Congress, and it isn't even the Democrats. It's the lawfare. It's judges, lower judges controlling the President of the United States. It's disgusting. It's wrong. It needs to end. So we've got to look to El Salvador. I think Elon Musk is absolutely correct. We have to look to El Salvador, and we've got to lock up the criminals, deport them from our country, take back our assets from them, remove them. And if judges are going to stand in the way, then those judges need to be impeached. I mean, you just had Judge Boasberg telling the President of the United States, I want you to go to El Salvador. I want you to empty the prisons of all the Venezuelans and bring them back and release them into the United States of America. Why is this judge still on the bench? This is the same judge that allowed for members of Congress to be spied on by Special Prosecutor Jack Smith. So Elon Musk is right. We got to be doing more. Well, now you've got Hillary Clinton saying, no, El Salvador is not the blueprint. In fact, these mega prisons should all be emptied. Well, President Bukele had an answer for her. Let me read this to you. Bukele trolls Hillary Clinton. We'll release our entire prison population to any country willing to receive them. Bukele delivered a savage response to Hillary Clinton's criticism of his maximum security prison, Setcop, offering to release every gang member and political prisoner to the U.S. or any other country that accepts them. Madam Secretary Hillary Clinton, if you are convinced that torture is taking place in Setcot, El Salvador is ready to cooperate fully. We are willing to release our entire prison population, including all the gang leaders and all those described as political prisoners, to any country willing to receive them. The only condition is straightforward. It must be everyone. This would also greatly assist journalists and our favorite NGOs, who would then have thousands of former inmates available for interviews, making it far easier to find additional voices critical of El Salvadoran government or willing to confirm whatever conclusion you already expected. Bukele has now locked up over 80,000 MS-13 and Barrio 18 gang members that literally terrorized El Salvador, the highest murder rate in the world. And Hillary Clinton is saying all of those prisoners need to be released. Release them right into Hillary Clinton's house. That's what I think. Wow. Unbelievable. You know, and speaking of Elon Musk and Hillary Clinton, they're now finding out that Hillary Clinton and her colleagues, her cohorts, are the ones behind pressuring the European Union to fine Elon Musk billions of dollars in order to hurt him. Listen to this.
Free speech isn't a free fall in Europe. There are two anti-free speech movements that have coalesced. One is in Europe, where it has laid waste to free speech. Germany, France, England, free speech has been eviscerated. And also places like Canada. The US anti-free speech movement began in higher education, then metastasized throughout the government. But this has all reached our shores now. The Berlin World Forum followed the remarks of Vice President Vance on free speech, and the EU was red hot. They gathered in Berlin, and it was the most anti-free speech gathering I've ever been part of. There's only two of us from the free speech community. And they are committed. And, you know, Hillary Clinton was there, and she really fueled the anger. I mean, she, when Twitter was purchased by Elon Musk, she called on the EU to use the infamous Digital Services Act, which is one of the most anti-free speech pieces of legislation in decades. And she called upon the EU to use the DSA to force the censorship of American citizens, force people like Musk to censor. It's an extraordinary act by someone who was once a presidential candidate in the United States. But they are committed to it. And after the World Forum, they further globalized this effort, and they are threatening companies like X with ruinous fines.
All right. So Hillary Clinton was behind trying to get rid of free speech on X, go after Elon Musk, and also after Americans. Just despicable. All right. Last week, I told you how the Supreme Court ruled against President Trump's use of the National Guard to protect ICE in the city of Chicago. They said there's not enough chaos to justify this extraordinary step, even though there's been a 1,300% increase in assaults on ICE agents. Well, Justice Alito, a conservative judge, he put out his opinion on this and said that a president and the government must have the right to protect Border Patrol, DHS, and ICE from potentially lethal attacks. Now, former federal prosecutor and ICE director Jonathan Fahey said over on Fox News that the president might need to use the Insurrection Act in order to be able to protect agents from this crazy violence. Now, let me know in the comments, do you think that President Trump will do this? Do you think it's time to cut off the money in blue states and surge the National Guard into red states that overwhelmingly voted for Trump? Go where you're wanted, clean up the crime, get rid of the illegals, get rid of the homelessness, make those areas great again, and then let people like me and others make thousands of videos exposing the good that President Trump did for his voters, and then start drying up the money, cutting off the fraud, and jailing people that steal from America. That's my idea. All right, that's my update for today. If you found value, give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. All right, I love you. Stay amazing, and I will see you on the next video.